Hey, what's going on YouTube? I just wanted to give a quick video on how I was able to purchase a Rolex Submariner 126610LN with no purchase history and no wait list.
To do a dangerous thing with style, that's what I call art.
So basically, a little backstory about myself. I'm currently serving in the military. I'm active duty. Prior to me getting this watch, I was an enlisted. I was a sergeant first class. And I called the dealer because I got selected to become a warrant officer in the Army. So that was a pivotal turning point in my career, obviously. Going from the enlisted side to becoming an officer in the United States Army was a big deal for me, you know, and in order to celebrate, you know, I wanted to get my first Rolex. I had tried previously in the past, I want to say when I turned 30 years old, I tried calling different dealers, and I had no idea how Rolex worked. I didn't know anything about the dealers. I actually just wanted the iconic piece, which was the Submariner. You know, everybody wanted it. It's a really nice timepiece that I really love. I'm a big fan of diver watches. So I didn't know anything about how it worked, right? Or what they say. So I went ahead and contacted various authorized dealers, the ADs, and I said, hey, you know, I'm looking to buy my first Rolex. And they were like, oh, well, cool. You know, what are you looking for? I said, I want a Submariner. And they're like, yeah, okay. I said, do y'all have any available? And one of the guys, I won't forget, I called several and they said, no, there's a wait list. So I said, well, there has to be one that has a Submariner. So what I did was I kept calling, and I live in South Texas, right? Originally from South Texas. So I called even all the way up to Dallas, Texas, an authorized dealer. And I said, hey, you know, what's the wait list on a Submariner? And the guy's like, is this your first time buying it? I said, yeah. And he kind of laughed and giggled, and he said, I don't think you know how this works. And I'm like, well, what do you mean, right? So he was like, the way it works is, you know, you have to be on a wait list. And sometimes it could take up to 2 years or more just to get on that wait list. So I was like, man, well, I'm about to turn 30. I kind of don't want to be on a wait list. So I said, okay, well, thank you, right? So 30th birthday coming up, I went ahead and went online. We have a shop called AFES, which is the Armed Forces Exchange online. A lot of everything is tax-free. So I said, you know what, I can't get a Rolex. It's very hard to get one, even to purchase one. I'm a little intimidated on walking in the AD here in my local here in McAllen. I don't know why I was intimidated. I guess it was just kind of like, you know, I didn't want to be looked at funny or judged or whatever, which we'll get to that here in a bit. But before that, I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and buy a luxury watch, and it's going to be online. It's going to be tax-free, so I'm kind of winning. And there's no wait list. So I went ahead and bought an Omega Seamaster. That was my first really nice purchase that I had bought. It was tax-free, so I saved, you know, all the taxes, about $800. So that was really good. So I said, hey, for my 30th birthday, you know, I got an Omega. I'm happy. Cool. I really like the timepiece. It's an amazing watch. And then I'm like, well, one day I'll get a Rolex, right? One day I'll get the Submariner, the steel. So fast forward about a year, I get selected to become a warrant officer in the Army. For me, that was a big deal. And I said, hey, well, let's celebrate, right, this pivotal moment in my career. So what I did, I said, you know what, I'm just going to contact the AD down here in South Texas, McAllen to be exact. I contacted Deutsch Deutsch, and I said, hey, you know, here's my situation. I got selected to be an officer. This is a big deal for me. I just kind of wanted to celebrate beforehand and maybe get on the wait list, because I know there's a long wait list. And I said, you know, I'm in the Army. This is what I'm going through. This is how long I've served. I kind of explained that I'm a local from the Valley, 2 combat tours from Iraq. Not that helped at all, but just kind of giving them a situational background on what I have gone through, so that they can know that this was kind of a pivotal moment in my career, right? A complete 180 switch from being enlisted Army to being an officer. And the lady said, you know what, let me go ahead and talk to the owner and we'll put you on the wait list. I said, oh, well, cool. I think like 2 weeks passed and I'm like, well, they never called me back. So I said, just out of curiosity, I gave them a call back and I said, hey, I called. You said you were gonna get back to me. And I didn't hear anything. I'm just following up. She said, yeah, I remember talking to you. So, you know, I just emphasized again, like, hey, like this is something I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be moving to Oklahoma pretty soon. So I can just buy it in Oklahoma if maybe I could get on the wait list in Oklahoma. And she's like, you can still be on the wait list here. And then we can do, you know, a purchase over the phone, wire transfer, all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. I'll probably just wait till I get to Oklahoma and go to an AD, maybe in Oklahoma City. And she said, let me talk to the owner, right? And we'll see what we can do. I said, okay, bye. And less than 24 hours later, I'm on my way to eat lunch with my mom, and I get a phone call from the AD, and she's like, hey, is this Mr. So-and-so? I'm like, yeah, this is him speaking. And she's like, we have your Rolex ready. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, we have your Rolex ready for purchase. And I said, is it the 126610 LN, the Submariner? She goes, that's the one. I'm like, wow, I'll go pick it up right now. So after eating lunch with my mom, I think I waited till I got out of work that day. And I went in and I picked up the watch and tried it on. It was amazing. I couldn't thank the owner enough from Deutsch Deutsch and the young lady who helped me. Very thankful for allowing me to purchase my first Rolex with like virtually no wait list, with no purchase history. I think that was amazing on their part. They're an amazing jewelry store down here in South Texas. So it's not guaranteed that you're gonna get a Rolex, you know, but they did give me and they did forward me the opportunity to go ahead and experience that with little to no knowledge on Rolex watches, right? So now I know how the game works and everything. A lot of ADs, not speaking for the ones here in South Texas, but what I've researched on various YouTube videos is that a lot of them, they are very selective on who they are going to sell to, because there's a lot of watch flippers out there. There's a lot of people who are just trying to make a quick buck. But unlike me, I truly wanted the watch because it was something that was a turning point in my professional career. Something that when I wear this watch, I'm like, hey, like this is what success is, right? It might not be the most expensive Rolex, but that doesn't matter to me. It's more of the obtaining what I want, always wanting the Rolex, right? And be able to afford it and buy it. I do plan on starting a watch collection, right? So I really do enjoy Rolex watches. I have the Submariner, like I said, I do have the Omega, and I have a Tag. I believe I first started off with the Tag Heuer, a dive watch, of course. I am a big sucker for dive watches and ceramic bezels. It's just something I like. I'm into that style, but yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. That's how I bought my first Rolex Submariner with no purchase history and with no wait list. Thanks to the awesome AD down here in McAllen, Texas. Big shout out to them. I just want to, thank them so much for just giving me the opportunity, like I said, of course. So that's going to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in the channel. This is actually my first video ever uploaded. So I appreciate the time that y'all took to listen and to hear me out on how I got my first Rolex with no purchase history and with no wait list. So thank y'all so much. And until next time, thank y'all.